Hi guys, how you doing? This is Zedhead Motovlogs here. So I was in the Motovloggers group chat we've got on WhatsApp, and there's a couple of guys in there. They're talking about multi-camera editing and basically how they do it. And I would like to show them and you guys as well what I do and how I do it. It's probably, in my eyes, just a wee bit easier. And it's using something within Powerdirector themselves. So as you can see, as we've got here, I've got two screens. So I'm looking at my StreamYard on one, and I'm looking at the Powerdirector on my other screen. So if I turn away, I do apologise. It's because I'm looking at my other screen. But you'll see the mouse move on this. So basically, as you can see just now, I have a full video of the DJI forward facing, which is sitting on my dashboard facing my face. And I also have the GoPro, which I have on my chin mount. So basically that's two video files, one of which carries my audio, and the one that carries my audio file is my GoPro, because it's got the mic mod, and basically wired into my Panda mic in my helmet. So I'm just going to briefly show you how I would edit or create an edit for these two cameras. So what I used to do, or what I used to have to do, was pull the file down into the screen. It's probably going to take a while because it'll buffer. So there you go. So you can see the file, the file on the let's move that along a wee bit. So yeah, you can see the file on the workspace, and then I would have the other one there. So what I would then have to do is I would have to match these two up, and then start splitting them, and then delete one part so that I can show either front facing or rear facing camera. Because like just now I can, let me just see, if I lock the bottom one, so that one, so there you go. So like basically if you look at the wee eye there, so basically I'm telling Powerdirector I don't want to see that second track. So like when I do that, it shows the upper track. So basically to edit the two cameras within the main part of Powerdirector, you would have to cut between the two tracks. So basically the part of the upper track, or track one, that you didn't want to see, you would delete that out and leave it in track two, and vice versa. So that's how you get the cameras switching from one to the other. And that's the only way I ever knew how to do it until I got Powerdirector. And Powerdirector has a nice little program that you can run, and it basically does it for you. So I'll show you. So basically, this area here that you can see me highlighting, basically that's tracks that are video clips that I've downloaded onto Powerdirector. So they're sitting in the library basically. So I can then go into this little feature up here. It's called a plugin. And then I go into Multicam Designer, which is the top one. So what it does is that you can see there it's brought up a sub box. So from that, I can import from the media room. And for camera one, I always put my forward facing camera in track one, and then I highlight track two, and then press the plus, and then I import from the media, and I grab my GoPro and click OK. So there you have it. What you can see there is the DJI full face and the GoPro full face. And as it sits just now, I can play about with this. So you'll see here, it says audio source, and its audio source is camera 1, which is this camera here. So I want it to be camera 2. So I tell it camera 2. And as you can see, I can get up to 4 cameras on this. So I can have 4 cameras basically positioned on the bike, and I can edit it all in this suite. So, right, let me just move. So I'm going to have a wee play about, because I'll extend the track out so that it makes it a wee bit easier. So I'm just going to move this about, because I think at some point, yep, there it is there. I move the camera. You see me do it there on the left-hand screen. I just lower the DJI there. Let's take it along a wee bit more. That's my hand starting to move back away from the camera. So I can leave that one as it is. And what I'm doing is I'm now going to look at this. And I'll pull the... So I'll pull that back a wee bit to see what's going on. Let's move it forward. Move it forward. I'm trying to remember. Right, so it's coming up. You'll see it in a wee minute. Where I move the... So there's my hand going forward. Do you see my hand going forward? So I can just do it a bit at a time now. So there I'm actually got my hand on the camera, and I'm moving the camera. You can see my fingers down there. And there's my hand on its way back. So my hand's on its way back here, and my hand's on its way back here. Now, in the end up in the grand scheme of things, it's maybe only going to be about 4 or 5 frames out. And I don't think it matters. So like if I move the track together, so if you watch the 2 screens, so I'm adjusting the camera, and there's my hand's coming back, and you'll see my hand coming back there. So I think they're quite close. So that's not bad. So for the purposes of this little demonstration, I'm going to say that that's acceptable. Obviously this is like footage from a review vlog, so it was just to show you guys how I'm going to do it. So I'll start from there. It does, because it doesn't matter. So what I'm doing is I'm going down and I'm going on to single video. So if I click on this, it will create another track. Excuse me. So what it does now is it creates a recording track. So now when I press record on the multicam designer, it records everything that I do within the multicam designer. So you'll see number 2's highlighted blue, and number 1 doesn't have anything on it at all. So I'm just going to start it. We'll start it running, and I will start flipping between the cameras and let you see what's happening. Hi guys, this is Zedhead here. Come back after the intro and I'll tell you exactly what the hell's going on. Right, So you saw me flipping between the two cameras, and what you can see there is the recording track is showing 2, 1, 2, 1. So if I go back now and I press play, it's shown me the. Hi guys, this is Zedhead here. Come back after the intro and I'll tell you exactly what the hell's going on. So yeah, I'll put it right back. So basically what I can do now is I can now click on record again. And it carries on. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Zedhead here. To all new subscribers, hello. It's been a while. Glad to be back. And I'll tell you what's been going on. And I'll tell you what's going on with this bloody thing. So if I've got 30 minutes worth of track or 30 minutes worth of content, editable content on my cameras, obviously I've got my DJI Osmo Action, that's my front facing one, and I've got my Hero 9. So Hero 9 that's my chin mount, and the DJI Osmo Action for my forward facing. So if I've got 30 minutes of footage on each of them, I'll match them together. I'll put them onto the multicam designer, and I will do a edit of the camera. So all that I'm doing here with this editing is getting my camera changes. That's all I'm doing, because what I'll then do is if I'm happy once I've done that 30 minutes, I mean, I can basically just cancel that. I can stop that and say I'm not happy with it, and I can do it again and just keep doing it until I get it exactly the way I want it. So just say, for example, I'm saying I'm happy with that. I can then click OK. And what happens is it brings you back into the main screen. And when it brings you back into the main screen, it drops your whole camera edit onto the track. So instead of having two tracks with both cameras, I went into the multi-camera designer and I've done the multicam edit before I then go on and do the full edit. Now, if I'm doing a vlog, what I would do at this point is I would actually produce that. So I would produce it to create, which would get rid of all the camera cuts, and it would just become one file. And then what that would allow me to do is then color grade it. It would allow me to do any audio tweaks and whatever that I needed to do. And then I can pick and choose what it is that I'm keeping in the vlog and what it is that I'm taking out the vlog. And all I'm basically doing is cutting and crossfading, cut, crossfade, or adding transitions or whatever it is that I'm doing. And that's basically how you edit on Powerdirector for multi-cameras. So you saw how easy it was to do the two cameras there. I just thought it was, it's quite intuitive. It really is. As I say, like what I'll do is I'll play it on this. I'm out of the multi-camera editor now, so it's done its job. So I can now play that, and you'll see it switching, because you can see it there switching between the two cameras. Turn the volume down a wee bit because it's a wee bit overpowering. That's a bit better. So as I say, what I would do is I would generally produce that. So I'd go up to there, I would produce it, which it would basically just um, condense all these files into like a single video file. So when you basically laid the track up for editing, it wouldn't have all your camera switches on it there. It would just be one full solid line, and I feel that that's easier to manage when you're doing all your cuts and transitions and whatever it is that you're doing. So I hope you like that, guys. As I say, that's just a little sort of trick, not a trick because it's not a trick because it's a usable part of Powerdirector from Cyberlink. It's Powerdirector 365 that I use. As I say, it's a plugin, and it's the multicam designer. So you have other things there as well. You've got Paint Designer, you've got video collage, you've got Magic Movie Wizard. I haven't used half of it, and I really should probably start getting into it. I did see when I used to use Sony Vegas. When I used to use Sony Vegas, I went into it in so much depth. I started to learn everything about chroma keying, all the different sort of features, and I've skirted over the outset of this. I've kind of got into the habit of basically I know what color gradient I want on my picture, my videos. I know that I can go into the multicam designer and I can do that edit straight away. I know what audio levels I'm setting it to, and I can just quite quickly rip through what it is that I need to do when I'm editing. So that's it, guys. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that little sort of walkabout. It's basically how I do my editing, how I do my multi-camera editing, and I feel as if it's quite easy. It has to be easy for me. So I hope you like that, guys. So don't forget to click like, comment, and subscribe. This is Zedhead saying, take care, stay safe, peace out, bye bye.